I know how incredibly thorough you are, so I'm not going to go through all questioning, and I'll take it that you understand that this is what you're doing today is you're making a lifetime decision that it's a difficult one. And, when you start racking up convictions on your record, life.
Right out the gate, the judge is laying down real-world truths. This isn't just a sentencing, it's a wake-up call. And honestly, he's not wrong. Stack up convictions, and suddenly life doesn't just get harder, it slams the door on your future. Do you agree that past mistakes should carry such long-term consequences? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Gets a lot more difficult. The older you get, life doesn't get easier. It gets so much more very difficult. And when you get convictions, you become unemployable the more convictions you get. So you need to be careful how you handle life, because if you don't, I'm telling you, 15 minutes will flash by and lickety split. And if you don't have a job, you don't have a career, you don't have an education, then life is not going to go well. This life is not fun without money. If you don't believe me, go on the street and ask the people on the street. You only get it. You have a trade, you have a job, an education. You understand?
It has been a difficult decision because she is enrolled full-time in college and she's working part-time, got a good job. But, well, and we understand how this can adversely affect things.
I'm not interested in the PTI program.
Well, she was in the PTI and there was
I see.
Having difficulty balancing, and that's really, we think the crux of the issue with the issues in PTI was trying to balance full-time job, part-time work, and
let's break that down. PTI, pretrial intervention, is basically a second chance program. Think of it like probation before conviction. Get kicked out of that, and now you're not just dealing with consequences, you're out of lifelines. But was this failure due to bad behavior or a system that doesn't consider real-life struggles like work and school?
Maintaining a home that first time she's out on her own, not without, without her parents' help.
Is there any other way no other way we can help?
Well, not that we see at the moment. And we've talked to the state about potentially being back on PTI and about the potential of deferred, and we're not quite there. We talked about potential of going without an agreed rec, but she doesn't want to sign up for a situation where maybe more difficult.
So she's currently in the PTI program now?
Well, no, she's been removed from the PTI program.
Removed, I see.
And so we've vetted through the case and found issues we think were...
This moment, this is the turning point. The judge makes it crystal clear. No more wrist slaps, no more leniency. From here on out, it's jail time. Think of this like the last caution sign before a cliff. And honestly, how often do people actually change course after hearing something like this?
With where we think there's potential issues in the case, but we're thinking that this is the best way to resolve it.
It is what it is. At some point, may not be today, may not be tomorrow, 10 years, but you're going to look back, God, why didn't I complete this thing? You need to understand that this DWI will go on your record. What we're doing today, it's 3 days in jail, credit for one. From now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any case that you pick up here. No more proverbial slaps on the wrist. You now have a minimum that you'll be doing if you pick up any more cases. So you need to be very careful when you get into a car. All officers do when they pull you over is they look at your criminal history. If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, so you need to be very careful moving forward. $30, wherever you want to go in the city. $40, it'll take you anywhere you want to go when you get Uber. That's what you need to consider from now on, even if you've had one. That's what I do when I go out with my wife. Miss Mom, you give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, there's no turning back. You can never take this off. Do you understand? How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will sentence you to 3 days in jail, give you credit for 1. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days.
We'd ask that go, I guess, have a retroactive application to the suspension that she served from by way of the ALR suspension.
Why?
Well, she's trying to, what's your question? Why, Judge? I'm sorry, I couldn't.
The thing is this, is that how many times are we going to reward someone, especially for behavior when she's doing whatever she wants to do?
No, it's not a reward. It's to make sure that in a situation where she doesn't have a bunch of financial resources, that she can get to school and to work, and she's doing things to move forward in life.
Oof, that's a damning assessment. But wait, 31 skip tests doesn't always equal 31 bad choices. Life happens. Missed tests could be chaos, not carelessness. Still, when it comes to court programs, perception is everything. Is missing the same as failing in the eyes of the law?
And she is enrolled full-time. She's got 13 hours in an engineering program, got a pharmacy tech license. She's working as a pharmacy tech, but also maintaining home. So the costs and the process of getting a lawyer to represent her in an occupational license setting be more difficult. She's got her license active now. We asked that suspension that she served, which was a 6-month suspension.
How bad was it in the PTI program? Did she repeatedly just test positive for alcohol and dope?
No, I think there were missed. I don't think there was any positive tests. I think there were just no test, skip test.
So I have, yes, it's a failure of to report and failure to enroll in SOP and failure to maintain.
Did she do anything?
And she's been on an ankle monitor since I got the case, and she's not had any issues with ankle.
And then also, as counsel mentioned, 31 skip tests on the report. So it does not appear that she did much of anything that was required of her.
We disagree with that assessment, but
I mean, reasonable minds can differ. You know, there's also a matter of the $3,000 surcharge as well. What are we going to do with that?
Now this is powerful. The judge isn't just sentencing, she's mentoring. She's calling out systemic hardship and flipping it into motivation. It's rare to hear such direct acknowledgement of how race and gender impact someone's future in a courtroom. Do you think more judges should talk to defendants this way?
that in light of her financial circumstances.
Do you see what I mean? It's like one
Not a reward,
gift,
it's-
but it is though. I mean, there's no jail time. She got booted out of the program. Now I'm not suspending her license. Now I'm rolling the $3,500 that she would normally pay. It's one gift after the other.
It's not, and here's why, Judge. The legislature came in, and I know the remedy is citizens go vote, but a $3,000 surcharge to an individual who has little to no money is a catastrophic amount financially.
Well,
I remember
we do it. We give a 2-year payment plan, so it comes out to like $30 a month.
And we saw how the surcharge program worked for individuals, and it destroyed their license. And so what happens is then they come back to your court because all of a sudden they don't have a license valid, and then it plugs up our system with Class B charges of driving with license invalid cases. And so it's not a reward. It's understanding that me, as working a full-time job,
Here's what I'm gonna do.
different financial position.
Here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Garris. I agree with you about the money because to me, the money I don't care about money, but what I care about are actions. And I really like it when people better themselves. It makes me happy because I want you are a woman in this life that society, life is more difficult just because you're a woman, just because you're a person of color. Life is more difficult. You need to be dependent on no one. And you should get your education. You should get a good job so that you never have to rely on anyone. You be strong, I'll make you a deal. Like, I want to know, you're telling me that she's enrolled in all these things. If she is, and you can show me that she's in school, she's doing this, I'm going to take the money away because I don't care about the money. But as far as the license suspension goes, if you show me that she's actually in all this and you can show me, I'll acquiesce to you because I want you to do well. I want you to leave here better than you came. You've not shown me that so far though, right? You've not done well here. So why continue to do this? But if you show me that you're bettering yourself now, that you're in school, like you're saying, you're working as a tech there, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Show me, I'll acquiesce.
Thank you.
But in this life, you should never rely on anyone. I have 2 daughters, and the first thing that I'm teaching them is never rely on anyone. You go to school, you get your education, you get a great job so that you can just rely on yourself, and you can always be on your feet. You can always make money, because when you get that education, no one can take it away from you, and you can always go get another job. That's what life's about. And this knowledge is power. All right, please. So the 3,000 and whatever the court costs are. Okay, you ready? Yes, sir.
We have a plea.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
I got his, he had an ankle monitor, and I got that waived, but there was an issue with the back pay, and they wanted, for some reason, it wasn't waived to begin with.
Guys, I see he's got a felony warrant.
Well, there wasn't one. I checked about an hour ago. Okay.
He's on probation.
Wait, what just happened? A warrant gets issued? In real time? That's how fast things can shift in court. 1 minute you're negotiating a plea deal, the next you're possibly going to jail. This is real-life legal drama, folks. Would you roll the dice or pull back from the deal?
For credit card abuse picks up this assault, and I'm looking now, there's a felony warrant for an assault on a security officer, assault of a peace officer.
That case has already been opened, and he's been.
I remember it being open. I remember that we've had issues with this, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Regardless, I mean, we're going to do this now. It's just that if there's an open warrant, I'm going to have to take you into custody. I don't know. It appears to be so, but the computer's been wrong before. Yeah. Take your time. No rush. Mr. Miller, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 4 days in jail with credit for the 4 days that you've done. You need to understand that by pleading guilty to this offense, there are consequences that may arise. If you're on probation or parole, this can be used against you, which would result in further confinement. Do you understand? Yeah. Do you still want to go forward with this?
We'd like to see you check with the warrant. I mean, if he's going to be going in, and we may want to hold off on the plea today.
Okay, it's up to you here.
Who was issued to the judge? Who was issued to the warrant himself? It's weird because when I looked earlier this morning, because I knew he had bond violations here. The reason you're here now is because you have bond violations, right? And when I looked earlier, there was no warrant.
Yeah.
And when I just pulled it up now to look, a warrant has been issued. They issued a warrant 8 minutes ago.
Okay.
And we does this give a reason why?
Bond condition violation.
There you go.
Okay.
Mr. Miller, when you're on bond, there are conditions that you must follow. And when you don't, there are consequences.
As of right this moment, it is not current. It is sitting on the judge's thing to be signed.
He's saying
They issued it by the clerks, but it hasn't been signed, so
it's that's where I'm seeing it, but it is not showing up in Jim's as of this.
I need to know what you want to do. Do you want to go forward with this plea, or do you want
Will
to?
he be going into custody because he hasn't been signed yet?
He's got bond violations with me. He's on probation, picks up a case. Now he picks up a felony case. He's got bond violations with me.
Yes, but if we do the plea and here the bond violations are
Yeah, if you do the plea, then you do the plea. It's up to you guys.
signed
Yeah,
yet.
I'm,
Okay. All right.
if it's not signed, no, because we can't do anything to,
Well, what I will do is I will just verify, just to make sure. If he could be able to, I will just call in.
I would just be, Mr. Miller, see, you're skirting a very thin line, man. You know, you tell me what you want to do.
Well, if he can leave today, I think that's what you'd like to do is take the.
If we do the plea and she hasn't signed it, I have nothing to hold him. But you need to understand that it may at some point happen. So
He does have court for this. case, that the felony case next week. So that would give him some time to get something set up with a bondsman and get something worked out.
I don't know. So do you still want to go through with this, Mr. Miller? So, yes? Okay. So you were charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 4 days in jail, credit for the 4 days that you've done. Understand that, like I told you, there are a lot of rights that you're giving up. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never take this back. Will go on your record and it's going to be there forever. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Do you understand? If you're on probation or parole, you also need to understand that by pleading guilty to this, they can revoke that probation or parole and it can result in further confinement. Do you understand? Do you still want to do this? Okay. How do you plead to the offense of assault, bodily injury, guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I will follow the agreement, sentence you to 4 days in jail. I will give you credit for the 4 days that you've done. I will roll your court costs so you won't know anything. And good luck to you, sir.